From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, May 27th, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.62 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,185 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $240. Antiwar.com reports, speaking to reporters yesterday at the White House, President Obama demanded that Congress renew Section 215 of the USA PATRIOT Act before the expiration on Monday. Obama declared this needs to get done, praising the House for its approval of the USA Freedom Act, a watered-down reform bill, and saying the Senate needs to approve it as well. Section 215 is being used as the pretext for the NSA surveillance of the American public, and Obama insisted that allowing the surveillance to lapse would endanger the public. The White House is reiterating there is no plan B to keep the surveillance going if Congress does not give them the bill they want, though they similarly made this claim last week and the Senate still failed to pass the bill. The Senate needed 60 votes for a procedural vote on the USA Freedom Act and got 57 on Saturday. They then went into a holiday recess. The Senate is planning a Sunday session this upcoming week to try to vote again at the last minute, but despite heavy lobbying from the administration and pro-surveillance congressional leadership, it is unclear how they will secure additional votes. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a storm system triggered flash flood watches and warnings across 7 states on Tuesday that killed 14 people and brought historic flooding to Houston. According to the city's emergency management coordinator, Rick Flanagan, up to 8 inches of rain fell on Houston in less than 24 hours. More than 80,000 people were without power and schools were closed. Flood watches and warnings were in effect Tuesday in parts of Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Louisiana, and Mississippi. At least 14 people had been killed and 16 missing due to the severe weather since Saturday in Oklahoma and Texas. At least one person in each state is suspected of being killed by tornadoes. Officials in San Marcos and Hays County, Texas, said more than 400 homes had been washed away. ExpressCoin is the best choice for buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and more. ExpressCoin prides themselves on their customer service, so much so that the back end on the website should allow them to be even more focused on your needs. Get your cryptocurrencies with money order, check, wire transfer, or cash deposit. Get started at expresscoin.fppradio.com. That's expresscoin.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Charter Communications, seeking to remake the U.S. cable television industry by acquiring larger rival Time Warner Cable for $56 billion, will try to skirt the regulatory obstacles that sunk the earlier bid by Comcast for Time Warner. The combined company would control a big swath of the cable and internet markets, making a huge step towards industry consolidation, long advocated by cable pioneer John Malone, Charter's biggest shareholder. But before that can happen, the Federal Communications Commission will look to see how American consumers would benefit if the deal were to be approved, that according to agency chairman Tom Wheeler. The agreement is the latest example of how cable companies are grappling with the declining subscriber numbers as viewers shift to cheaper and more flexible streaming services offered by Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and others. Even premium cable network HBO, owned by Time Warner Cable's former parent, recently started a standalone streaming service. Charter and others have been beefing up their higher-margin internet business through consolidation and partnerships to offset TV subscriber losses. The merged company would still be smaller than Comcast, which serves about one-third of U.S. broadband users, said analyst Craig Moffett in a note to clients. He added that one has to be sober about genuine risk that this deal could still be rejected. Still, experts said this transaction is different enough from the scuttled Comcast takeover that it is likely to win regulatory approval with certain conditions. Executives from Charter and Time Warner Cable said concerns were overblown that the deal could face the same opposition as the Comcast takeover bid. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.